Paul Fain. I'm a US-based journalist for a publication called WorkShift, covering connections between education and work. Paulo?
I'm Paulo Bonaf. I'm an executive from Gerdau, a Brazilian steel maker, and I work for social responsibility, organization development, and diversity. And I'm based in Brazil.
So Paulo, as you just said, Gerdau has been involved with Instituto Caldera from the beginning. Can you talk about what brought the company to help make this happen?
Sure. So the beginning, when Caldera started, Gerdau was one of the supporters, giving financial support for start the renovation of this building and to build the whole project. I believe it was more 4 or 5 years ago. But I think the relationship got deeper 2 years ago, more or less when we have the storm here in the States, the flood in 2024. Because after that, Gerdau supported not only the renovation of Instituto Caldera to get better than was before, but also to have a space here inside the community. So Gerdau has a room that our executives can work here and also can engage with the other organizations here. And this year, maybe the last part of this deeper engagement was supporting the Geração Caldera project that is supporting young students to get IT knowledge, like technical training here, and maybe in the near future to work for us as their first job.
That's really interesting. I think, particularly, in the United States, we don't do a good job of sharing with young people what's possible in careers or even what jobs are like. And I would think, for some people, a huge steel company, you wouldn't think IT and tech, but there are IT and tech possibilities in your work.
Sure, yes. And even now, talk about generative AI, and we do believe the technology can make a huge difference in the sector. Because the sector of making steel can be from scrap or iron ore, but in the end, it's a lot of machines with technology. And we've been working with many American top-of-the-line IT companies, from softwares to hardwares, to understand how can we improve the process. Another priority is how to keep humans safer in the industrial environment. So we have, for example, many devices that will protect humans inside the industrial area. If there is any trucks or movement objects inside the location, you hear a special sound or a camera that will follow the truck driver to avoid any incident. So we've been using technology for a long time. In the 80s, for example, Gerdau had a partnership with IBM to create a data process company here in this state in the 80s. And you can imagine, we were at the same time a steel producer, bringing an American huge IT company to create a new business related to data processing. So we've been adding technology, and we do believe for the challenges we are facing now in the next 10 to 15 years, we need a lot of employees that have IT capabilities or digital capabilities, not only to use AI, but to understand how to connect machine learning, data lake, IoT. So all this technology that we are seeing today, and you get better every year, we need people to work with that and to improve Gerdau, to be a better company tomorrow.
Yeah, one of the things I've learned in my visit to this state and to Brazil was that the state is an aging one, that there is an urgency to bring as many young people into good career paths as possible, whereas other parts of Brazil don't have that issue. How important is it to not just to your very large company, but to this region to give young people a way to open a door to a path in tech?
Yeah, I think the reason the state's aging, one of the reasons is people moving to other states or even moving outside Brazil, looking for a better perspective for the future, a career or a way of life to build a family, for example. So I think what we need to do here in Rio Grande do Sul is not only to rebuild the state better, giving better opportunities for school, for health system, safety in the streets, and all, but also to communicate the opportunities that we have here. As you mentioned, IT is one way. We have many global IT companies with offices in the state, but we need people to work here. Otherwise, these companies probably move the office to other states when you have qualified people to work for them. So I think communication or rebranding the state as an innovative state open for organizations and people are very important, and what we saw in the last year is a lot of people from here. We mentioned gaúchos, people born in Rio Grande do Sul, moving to São Paulo or moving to Rio de Janeiro or even Europe, US.
Yep. You mentioned IBM. One of the reasons I was intrigued and wanted to come here was the partnership that feels really deep between American-based big tech companies. I was in these chairs yesterday talking with Salesforce about their new investment here. It feels very different, and I really mean this, that you have philanthropy, big local companies, small local companies, international companies, students, government, colleges. I have just not seen that. How important is it to have all of those stakeholders committed to the same thing here?
I think it's the power of community, because as a community, we can share our experience, our knowledge, we can learn with them, and we can get together and make things done, create projects, create initiatives. And I think this is part of the soul of Caldera Institute. It's how to connect different stakeholders from very small company or a startup with a huge Brazilian multinational as ourselves, or American multinational as Salesforce, IBM, Amazon. So this is a space that everyone can sit on the table and talk and connect. And for me, this is a very powerful environment to be.
I love that you said it's part of the soul. I feel that people are very committed to connection here in ways that is unusual for me in the United States, and genuine connections too. You're a local, you're a native. This is your town. Just unbelievable what has been accomplished here since such a terrible tragedy, less than 2 years ago. You described it before the cameras were on as a rebirth. Can you describe what that means to you?
Sure. And I think the energy you are feeling today, and it's amazing to have you here visiting us, because last April 2024, we have the worst climate incident in Brazil ever. And of course, the worst for the state. And what we saw I was born here in Porto Alegre, the city, but also Gerdau was created here in 1901, 124 years ago, a very small factory in the city center. And what we saw when we were watching TV and receiving calls from our employees in the state is things are getting worse. And after a few hours, you have part of the city with 4 or 5 meters of water. And we had a very important meeting in São Paulo, that is our company headquarters, that talking with the board, and we saw it's our responsibility as an organization to be part of the reconstruction, rebuild. Because as an organization, we were created in Porto Alegre, but we grow to Brazil, and from Brazil to South America, and from South America to US and Canada, because everything started in Porto Alegre. So we kind of have this commitment or a debt, maybe a commitment, that we should be part of this reconstruction. So the board said, we don't know how much it will take about investment or people time, but we'll be a key player on this. And when we arrive here, talk with the public organizations, like the mayor, the governor, or other private companies, NGOs, everyone was like, we don't know how to start, but we do want to work together and be part of this rebuild. And I think the result, feeling today is the result is the energy of the power of people getting together and doing things that we never saw before. At least we never saw that in Brazil before.
Yeah, well, congrats to you and to Gerdau for its commitment to this community. You know, I'm from Dayton, Ohio, and the death of manufacturing in my city was so devastating, and it honestly has contributed to a lot of the political problems in the United States. And I wish that more companies felt like Gerdau and being loyal to its roots. Looking forward, Instituto has big plans here. Caldera, I think, is poised for some pretty exciting things. What would you like to see? What are you hoping for in the next few years?
I think I have two things in my mind. One is that Caldera should continue to be the spark of a lot of good flames we are seeing all over the state or Brazil, southern Brazil. Because when Caldera creates something, people may say it's impossible, it's too big, it's a lot of money, a lot of energy. No one did that before. And Caldera team tried. And they put energy, they put trust, and they create something new. And this move, it creates like a wave, bringing other organizations and an ecosystem of people that believe we can do more, we can do different, we can innovate, and we can work together as a community. I think this is the major dream that I have for Caldera, is keep doing this, keep bringing this kind of provocations. And the second one is to keep growing as a place. And you can see the other side of the street, they have a lot of plans, a lot of opportunities over there. And I think if they move in half of the opportunities or the plans they had today, if you come back in 5 years, it will be a completely different ecosystem.
Yes.
Impacting more people, not only south of Brazil. We can be a hub that support other countries, share knowledge, and connect to other hubs all over the world.
Really well said. And I know Semana Caldera is not the whole operation, but as we were talking earlier, I see this as having the energy that South by Southwest has, and maybe more. I was telling some of my friends in the United States, you should come down here next year. For the young people, and that's, it comes across in everything that I've seen here. That's the core of this. Any messages you give to them, any kind of quick key things to looking forward in their careers and their communities?
Yeah. I think one is to believe that you can open doors that you doesn't even know they exist. We are seeing a lot of students here that jump into study inside Caldera without knowing exactly what they are looking for. Open a lot of possibilities for them, not only to work in companies, but maybe to start a new business. So for the new generation is to do believe it's possible. Don't stop if anyone say it's impossible, and get together with people with good intentions. People that will give you energy, motivation, and say, I don't know if it's possible, but try it. Do it. Go ahead. And this energy, people with good intentions together can make things done in the end.
Great advice. That's all I had. Anything I didn't ask you I should have? Any points you want to make that we didn't get to?
Maybe just an invitation, as you mentioned, you share to your friends and colleagues. I do believe the environment we have here in Caldera Institute, it's amazing. It's very similar to other hubs in US and Europe. So to let open our doors for our probably new friends that will visit us next year. And I believe this was the best Caldera week ever. But next year we can do better. And if your friends, colleagues, or everyone watching us today, please visit us in 2026.
Really well said. I think there may be similar ones in the United States and Europe, but I have not seen them that do all the pieces that this does in the ambition.
Nice.
Paulo, great to meet you.
Thank you.
That was
my
super
pleasure.
fantastic. Yeah, thanks for doing it. I thought that was great. So
Thank you.
appreciate it.